It's John here from Speedy Brick, and the Formula One season has started. Free practice 1 and free practice 2 this morning in Melbourne with some very interesting results. The weekend is going to be very interesting. We're expecting a wet race, so anything could happen. Much like our Speed Champions collections. So I've built 3 cars already. We've got the McLaren, the Red Bull and the Ferrari. And today I'm going to be building the Mercedes. I'm really quite looking forward to this car because we've got an almost ancient comparison car. The 2002, my goodness, 2002 already, Mercedes comparison car. This came as part of a twin pack, and this was the first in this 8-wide series of Speed Champion sets. The first time we got a Formula One car. And I was really keen on it when it came out. There was lots of nice little building tricks in it. And we even had, you could choose your driver. So we even had 2 lots of the numbers that you could choose. So you could apply the sticker that you wanted to get the driver you want. So I've got Lewis Hamilton in the car on this one. Had quite a nice minifig as well. So I'm quite looking forward to comparing this car to this new car. Seeing if there's any other new parts have arrived. So far, there's been new parts in every set that I've opened. So will there be any in this one? Let's have a look. Let's open up the box and see what's inside. It's set 77244. 44 is a really good reference here, but since it's Lewis Hamilton's number and the last year he's driving the car, of course. It's the Mercedes AMG W15. It's 267 pieces. It's pretty much the same as all the other boxes. So let's open her up and have a look and see what we get. We've got a sticker sheet which has got 28 stickers on it. And we've got a somewhat newer looking manual. The last one, the Ferrari, had a stain on it, so I don't know what happened there. Don't forget to scan the QR code there for your points. We can see the difference in the cars here. Yeah, again, we've got white wall tyres again this time, but again, the tyres are just too... By comparison, they're too small, aren't they? But anyway, let's not dwell on that too much. Looks like it's going to be a good little build. So let's open up the bags and see what's inside and see if there's any special parts. Let's have a look at all the printed pieces and the new pieces. And this, I'm pretty sure, is a brand new piece. And so we've had this for a long time as a 1x1 piece and recently as a 1x4 piece. But now it's available as a 1x2, and I'm not sure what you call it, but it's kind of like a domed piece. So this is really good, and I could have used this in lots of different times, and I even think that it could have been used quite well inside the Ferrari set. So that's great to see that's there. We've got some really nice printed pieces here with these pieces, and again the 1x6 slope with printing on 3 sides. We've got some spares here. We've got, obviously need 1, so there's a spare, and we need 2 of those. There's a spare there. We've got a brand new print for the discs. We've got, again, the white wall tyres, so that's good. We've got some more of these little stud with a clip. We've got our same front axle elements, or front suspension elements. And we've got the same 2x6 element for the back wing. So it's a nice curved slope in there. We've got one of these little teeth again. And we've got a sword, looks like. I think this is from the Mandalorian set or a Star Wars set, the black saber or dark saber. But I think... or it's a brand new piece. I'm not 100% certain. But it's new to me. I've not had one of those before, and I got 2 of them, so I'm not sure if you need 2 or 1 for the set. Again, a very underwhelming minifig design, really poor. It wasn't that long ago. This was the 2022 version where we got a complete livery on the minifig, printing on the legs and on the torso, on both sides. Fantastic. Some sort of indication that that could have been Lewis Hamilton. And here we've got an agnostic minifig. Could be anybody. But yeah. But just terrible. Come on, Lego, you can do much, much better at creating a minifig than that. The helmet is quite nice. Again, it's a bit agnostic, but it's okay, I guess. But anyway, let's start building and see how we're going to use these parts, and of course, how the car compares to all the others. So that's bags 1 and 2 complete, and we're up to step 32. And so far, it's really quite good. I'm quite enjoying it. We've got a few stickers applied, not too many, 3 so far. And we've got a similar sort of structure in this front end, but this back end and this middle section is really quite different from the other sets. And that's really good to see. So it's quite a nice experience going through and building these kind of one after another, and seeing kind of all the variability that comes with it. So hopefully they finish off the cabin quite nicely. But this bit here is going to be interesting. What's going to happen here? Why we got tiles in there rather than plates? But let's see. Should be quite fun. Let's get on with bags 3 and 4. So that's bags 3 and 4 complete, and we're up to step 71. I've got to say, this looks really good. The color scheme's great, and these printed elements are really nice. They really work well together. I like this back end here, this whole shape through here, and this use of this dark saber. Obviously, this back wing is the same, and we've used this piece already in 2 other sets. So kind of all this kind of is becoming very much the same. Although it's quite nice to get these stickers, these big stickers on there. It really helps to bring a Formula 1 car alive. And I quite like all this construction in here. It's great use of, these techniques to get the right angles and things. So we've got pins and clips and things. So that looks pretty cool. This bit is much the same as the others. And this is much the same. The only thing is here we've got one bracket, instead of a 1x1 bracket, it's a 1x2 bracket, so it sticks up and you can see it, which looks actually quite good for the whole design. So I'm really enjoying it so far. I think it looks awesome. So let's get on with the rest of the build and see how it ends up. So that's bags 5 and 6 complete, and the build is complete, and there was 99 steps. Which I think is the least number of steps in the builds so far. But I've got to think that this is actually more complex than the others. Certainly this structure through here, it was more complex than the other builds to create these side pods and create this structure in here. And I think the structure here for the mirrors was the best of all the cars so far. And I quite like the structure in here as well. I think that's also quite good. And the shaping through here and the combination of you get a bit of a brick built structure here and stickers to kind of create this line through here, which I actually think is quite good. I'm a bit unsure about this. This is quite narrow compared to this. I'm not sure what that is, but these printed elements really look great. And there's still this gap here obviously, and this gap in here, which all the cars have got. And there is a gap through here, which I don't like, but I think that could have been filled up with something. Here we've got, if you look underneath, you can see there is this bracket width through there, and maybe that could have been filled up with a bracket or something to hold it all in place, to get rid of it, or cover it up in another way. But I'm nitpicking perhaps. But that is kind of where I see the weak point on this car. otherwise, really nice design, really solid build. So let's start by comparing it to the other cars. So have a quick look at the Mercedes versus the McLaren. This piece in here is similar, but I think this is better done on the Mercedes than on the McLaren. And the structure through here is nicer. We're using a lot of the same elements. I think this piece in the middle here is better on the McLaren, but this piece in the back here is better than the McLaren. And this, certainly the printing throughout, I mean, this was a sticker, this is printing, but this structure here and it's being further back is also nicer on the Mercedes. Not having this huge gap in the side here is also nicer with the Mercedes. And I think the overall look and feel of the car is better with the Mercedes than the McLaren. So next up, we'll look at the Red Bull. So Red Bull has been my top pick so far, and I think it probably still is. The shaping through here is really good. Although I really like this shaping through here with the Mercedes, there is this thing here which sticks out. So we've got a square piece here which is sticking out from the shape, which kind of lets it down a bit, and we've got this huge gap in here. Now we do have a gap in the Red Bull as well, but it's inside, and that could be changed. I guess even if the color is changed of the pieces underneath, that would be less noticeable. But I think so far, with all the small little detail changes, I quite like this section, probably more on the Mercedes than I do on the Red Bull. But then we've got this proper shaping through here to let the air flow through. So I think that's better done on the Red Bull as well. But I think the building experience and all the complexity in this section here was better in the Mercedes. But let's compare it to the Ferrari. Straight up, the Ferrari looks good, doesn't it? So we've got very similar kind of concepts here with using these angled pieces to create the slope. And I think Mercedes does this bit better than the Ferrari. And this shaping in here is really, really nice from the Ferrari. But I think this piece should have been slightly longer. Either this should have been this 1x2 instead of 1x4, a 1x2 and a 1x1, and then printed, or a 1x3 would have been better. And making this slightly longer would have filled in this gap better as well. If this was a 1x3 angle, that would have even been better, but that doesn't exist. Not yet anyway. Come on, Lego. You've created so many new pieces. Why not make a new one for that? So I like this better than that, but and this is really nice. But I don't know, actually. It's hard to say, isn't it? But let's have a look. I'm still going for the Red Bull so far, but let's have a look and see what the car looks like compared to the 2022 car. Wow, it's just so far ahead of the game, isn't it? I really liked this set when it came out, but it's just so poor by comparison to this one. There's lots of similarities in itself, but this is way too open. The minifig has effectively got the same steering wheel, so that's okay. He's sitting down lower because he's got no legs on, so that's why that is. I prefer the mirrors, obviously, for that. And this structure here is really weak by comparison to this. The front wing is weak by comparison to this. But, when this came out, none of these pieces existed. This piece didn't exist. These pieces didn't exist. These for sure didn't exist. And there's lots of parts that just didn't exist when this set came out. So I think they did a really good job in developing this. But this is just so much better. It's also quite a bit bigger car. Significantly bigger. Even though they're the same width. And they've got the same size wheels. This is a significantly bigger car, and therefore the wheels are too small. But what do you guys think? are you going to add the Mercedes to your collection? Look forward to hearing your comments, and until next time, bye. Please click to subscribe for more videos and watch my build and review videos by clicking here. Thank you.